Now let's turn our attention to Russia. The country goes to polls tomorrow. Voting booths will be open from March 15 to 17th, and early voting has started in some regions and for Russians who are abroad. In all, more than 110 million Russians are eligible to vote to choose their next president. But let's face it, it will be Vladimir Putin. Putin has been in charge since 1999. He's eligible to rule until 2036 at least. So we have to wonder, what is the point of these elections? Why waste time and money on an obvious outcome? Well, it turns out there is a reason why Putin insists on elections. Our next report has the details.
It is necessary to reaffirm our unity and determination to move forward together. Each of your votes is valuable and significant. Therefore, I urge you to exercise your right to vote in the next 3 days.
Russian President Vladimir Putin sent out this message today. He is urging all eligible Russians to come out and vote from Friday till Sunday. Some booths are already open. Early voting is taking place for Russians in other parts of the world, like Syria, Serbia, and the annexed parts of Ukraine. Putin hopes this encourages the people back home to turn out as well. Now, you may be wondering, why would Putin want to hold elections? Why would he want any challenge to his rule? Well, is there really any challenge though? After all, Putin has ruled Russia since 1999. He was elected prime minister in August that year, and then he became acting president on the 31st of December, when former leader Boris Yeltsin resigned. Putin won the election held in the year 2000 and served till 2008. But then came a twist. His term limit was up. But Putin wasn't done. So he switched back to being prime minister. 4 years later, in 2012, Putin was president again. By then, the presidential term was increased from 4 to 6 years, thanks to some constitutional rewriting. That rewriting happened again in 2020. And Putin's term limits were reset again, meaning constitutionally, Putin can stay on as president till 2036. By then, who knows, there may be yet another rewrite. But all this song and dance begs the question, why does Putin do this? Why does he hold elections in the first place? After all, they are cumbersome, expensive events. The last Russian election in 2018 cost over 14 billion rubles. This time around, Russia has allocated 33 billion rubles from the federal budget. That's a lot of money for a country at war to spend on a pointless exercise. So then why is Putin holding this election? Well, the simple answer is legitimacy.
I'd like to emphasize that the only source of power in our country is the people. This key legal provision is enshrined in the Constitution. Its main meaning is that only you, citizens of Russia, determine the fate of the fatherland.
If the people have chosen, what right does anyone else have to demand a leader's ouster? Which is why elections are crucial. Of course, they don't need to be competitive. Putin has swept every election since 2000. His critics say that is because they are rigged. Putin has been accused of sidelining opposition or having them assassinated. The allegations have been made this time as well. Alexei Navalny is dead. Numerous contenders were disqualified. The 3 remaining candidates are all aligned with Putin and his policies. They've refused to criticize him at all, and they're expected to fetch a grand total of 13% of the vote, combined. So, Putin is likely to sweep these polls with over 85% of the vote share. Now, you can argue that Putin doesn't need to bother with this, that he will always be Russia's legitimate ruler no matter what the West or any outsider says. But Putin himself insists on the whole charade. So, no matter the cost, Russia will keep holding polls, irrespective of what the world thinks about them.